What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and in today's video I'm going to try to answer the question, is Male Soul Keeper merely a win more champion? In other words, does his ultimate skill appear really powerful, but in reality it's actually just an illusion and not doing much? Let's dive in. But first, download Gemstone Legends, a mobile RPG puzzle match game. Use the link in the description to start with free stuff, including a bonus hero. Alright, so I think it's widely known by now that at super high vigor levels, the Male Soul Keeper looks impressive. So what he does when his ultimate goes off, just to summarize, is that he creates a little line on the opponent's health bar that if their health gets below that point, he immediately executes them. And it overcomes a lot of effects like Female Divala, for example, who's supposed to be somewhat invincible, but he'll just straight up kill her. Or Female Choir, for example, who can be really hard to kill, just immediately dead. So that effect appears extremely powerful. However, this concept of being a win more champion means that your team was already progressing in its effort to kill the opponents, and he just made it happen sooner. He actually didn't have any kind of impact on the outcome, except that he just made it happen quicker in a very flashy kind of way. So what I want to do is jump into the arena and test this out. If Male Soul Keeper is a win more champion, it means he doesn't matter. It means actually that he's kind of useless, that you would want to take him out of your lineup because your team was going to win anyway. And the whole process of actually controlling and killing your opponent would have happened with or without him. So you might as well put another hero in, a fifth hero, that's actually going to progress that process of killing your opponent. On the one hand, proponents of him could say, in even matchups where the health bars are going down at the same time, your own and your opponent's, that he can turn the tide of that match and actually put it in your favor so that you get the victory because of him. However, if he is a win more champion, on the other hand, you could say that your team was progressing towards the win anyway, and it would be better that you had another champion in there who actually would have been making their health bars go down faster anyway, right? And you would have won anyway, and probably actually would have been more likely to win in that case. So when I go into the arena, if he's a win more champion, then we're going to win equally with him or without him. There won't be a difference. On the extreme end of that, we might win more without him than we win with him. However, if he is actually having an impact, and if he does matter, if he's not a win more champion, but actually helping you proceed in your effort to kill the opponent, then we will actually see him win more with him than without him. So let's see. Now I'm going to try to go against relatively evenly matched teams as far as might goes, but I do want to test this out against a number of different compositions on the other side of the battlefield, just to see how Male Soul Keeper looks against different synergies. I think it's important for you to know that he has 83 vigor. He is the second highest vigored champion on my roster next to Male Water and Sun. So that does matter. I am, of course, not the highest player in the game as far as might goes. I would say I'm like moderately high. So overall, you can see the might at the top listed there. So 119 million versus their 100 and almost 17 million. Yeah, so let's just jump in here and see how this goes. I'm going to keep the X2 on just because we're going to do a lot of matches. And I don't want this to take forever. I'm not looking at what the heroes actually do on like a new champion unveiling. I want to see what the outcome is here. Okay, so now you can see that he's gone off. Their health is already really far down. Like, I think I would have won this anyways. And then he just finished it in, like, just with fireworks. So let's go against the same opponent with a couple of different heroes. So now I'm bringing in Female Galabar in place of Male Soul Keeper to see how she does. I know you might wonder about the setup. The setup looks kind of weird. Like I have female Galabar in the back and female Soulkeeper and my male Water and Sun up front. But I'm finding with a lot of the shenanigans now that target the back line, that's just a better setup. And as you can see here, it kind of played out how I thought it would. It really didn't matter that male Soulkeeper was in this particular matchup. I'm just kind of outmatching this opponent. Once the health on the other team got down far enough, male Soulkeeper just wiped him out. This time, it took a little bit longer, but I won anyway. So let's fight Scorpius again, and this time I'm going to take just another random assassin. We'll say male Sigaric. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and challenge, and let's see what this one comes out as. Now, potentially, we're having a harder time here, and then male Sigaric just goes off and wipes out male Water and Sun in the back. So actually, the outcome was exactly the same there. I'm really curious what would happen if we just don't have a fifth hero. Okay, this is without male Soulkeeper or female Galabar or anyone else for that matter. All right, so it certainly is not the case that I can just go completely without a champion. So to me, that means the male Soulkeeper is not completely useless. Like, you have to have a fifth hero, but so far it's not mattering who that champion is. Let's try a different opponent. All right, so I'm going up against another mostly meta team, although they do have a female Dvala over there. I think that she has kind of been passed by a lot of the meta heroes, so I feel like I should have the better team on my side, but it'll be interesting because we have the male Soulkeeper, and it's he and Phoenix do really well against female Dvala, but it'll be interesting to see how we do with and without him against that female Dvala. All right, so male Soulkeeper goes off. You can see the little bars come up on the opponent's health bar, and they're just all dead. I mean, these matches happen fast with him in there. All right, same opponent. Let's take out male Soulkeeper, and we're going to put in the female Galabar. Okay, so again, took just a little bit longer, but same outcome. And once again, this time with male Sigaric. Okay, same result. In fact, that felt almost as fast as the male Soulkeeper. Now let's get into some tougher opponents. So I'm going to go against Name MVE. This one might look like a lot lower might than me, but it's actually a really evenly matched opponent who beats me from time to time. So let's see what we can do here with male Soulkeeper. And this one might be a good judge of whether male Soulkeeper actually turns the tide of a match. Now it looks like I'm just getting a burst of damage here. Oh, and see, this is what always happens. It looks like I'm winning, and then Name MVE comes back. Okay, look, it's just male Water and Sun and male Soulkeeper. It's coming down to these two. So it's possible that male Soulkeeper is the reason I won this one. It is possible. I would need to slow down and dissect that video a little bit more to see if I was going to win anyway, but that's promising for male Soulkeeper. Let's run it again with the female Galabar. So see, I get this huge burst of damage at first, and then he's trying to make his comeback. Ooh, that was more decisive. That was better with the female Galabar. That's really interesting. And see, female Galabar basically does no damage. Male Soulkeeper actually does damage at high vigor levels. Maybe I'll show you that if I remember. At lower vigor levels, he doesn't deal much damage, but he does a good job at higher ones. But with her doing less damage, but she was more controlling. So she kept the other team from really getting the ultimates off that actually made the first match close. And finally, male Sigaric for name MVE. Let's see if he can get into the back line and kill the male Water and Sun or Phoenix or both before they really get going. Oh, my male Sigaric died. He's a lot less vigored than the other two, but I'll tell you what, that was more decisive again. And what looked like it was going to be more promising for the male Soulkeeper actually turned around and ended up making it look like it proves the theory that male Soulkeeper is a win more hero. Because do you remember back towards the beginning of this video, I had talked about how if male Soulkeeper is win more, then you actually want a different champion on your team because they will help you with the process of killing your opponent better than male Soulkeeper does. He just comes in at the end and finishes it off. And actually, there's an argument for, in that match, male Soulkeeper actually holding the team back and nearly getting my team killed. Female Galabar and even male Sigaric had better results than the male Soulkeeper on that one. Now let's take on OSCARE, and OSCARE does beat me. So this is an opponent who should be able to match up really well against me. I'd say it's a pretty 50-50 type of matchup. Sometimes I win, sometimes he wins. And I will tell you what, that Corbett on the other side is a problem. That's a very, very good hero over there. And kind of what I'm hoping to decide with making this video is, should I replace my male Soulkeeper with a Corbett? Now you can see my Phoenix is already dead here, so you know, it's really going to matter what male Soulkeeper does right now. And he might be turning the tide here. Alright, so I lost 2 champions in that one. Male Soulkeeper came in and made sure I won. Finished things off. Now it's female Galabar's turn. I'll be curious to see if it has the same effect as last time where male Soulkeeper may have actually held the team back. But we can see their male Water and Sun's going off now, and they're gaining life. I'm losing life. You know, I look like I'm in trouble here. Uh-oh. Look at this. Look at this. We might get our first loss in the testing. And that's without the male Soulkeeper. That's with the female Galabar. Wow, how about that? And now male Sigaric. Actually, the male Sigaric's actually, he's doing some work back there. He took down the Phoenix. And there's the potential that could be good enough. Oh, their male Water and Sun just does so much damage. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and you know what? What mixed results? What mixed results? Because that was actually more decisive than the male Soulkeeper. And the interesting thing about that one is male Sigaric going into the back and really taking out the Phoenix, which does a lot of damage. And then working on the male Water and Sun. And I didn't lose any champions in that one. So in the first one, I lost a couple champions. The second one, I just straight up lost. And then the third one, male Sigaric was actually better than the other two. It almost makes me want to test him again. I'm curious. Let's do it. Okay, OSCARE with male Soulkeeper. Let's see if we get the same or different result. This was our most evenly matched battle so far. Obviously, we have champions on both sides that are very competitive with one another. Okay, this is looking more decisive than the first time. Let's see if it finishes that way, and it looks like it's going to. So male Soulkeeper goes off there, comes in and finishes things off. So that was actually decisive. And once again, OSCARE with female Galabar. So again, just while this is happening, I put female Galabar in the back and male Water and Sun up front. Not my favorite thing to do, but with the Corbets, with Sigaric and everything like that. And look at that, that was decisive. Oh my gosh. It's so weird how these results are sometimes. But anyway, I was saying that with all the champions that go into the back line, it actually appears kind of helpful to go and put a female Galabar back there who's just really tough to kill, because then like male Blooms can't kill her, and female Davalas that get back there can't kill her, and Bloodstorms can't kill her, and the Corbets have trouble with her and stuff like that. So I put tougher champions in the back, or my assassins that then go into the back line themselves and just keep them away from my other champions. And now male Sigaric again against OSCARE. And this one looks like it's going to be decisive again too. So, man, the first two matchups, I don't know what made them so tough that I lost champions, but hey. Okay, there we go. I actually don't know that male Soulkeeper made a difference there, just because we had decisive ones with every champion, and we had trouble with both male Soulkeeper and female Galabar. For some reason, never the male Sigaric though. And finally, the last series I'm going to do on video is against my good friend Fierce Daughter, who has an absolutely amazing meta team. And do not be fooled by her might. Her teams are always extremely difficult to beat. For whatever reason, she's figured out a formula where she can beat teams at higher might with what she's doing with her mix of traits and hero synergies and things like that. You can see she's got a couple new champions here. She's got the male Corbett back there. She's also got the new Silken Crown. So Spider-Man, and then male Water and Sun, female Sophos, and Phoenix, who are all amazing. So let's see what we can do against her with this. And I will tell you what, I think I lose against her at this point in time more than I win against her. So this should show us which champions are actually mattering. And look at this. I am getting wiped out with the male Soulkeeper in there. Interesting. Let's take a look at that damage report. And I said I'd show you the kind of damage that male Soulkeeper can do. And he didn't do anything there. He was killed before he could really have an impact on the board. And just look at that. Her Corbett over there did quite a bit of damage. Now let's run it again with female Galabar and see if she can slow things down a bit here. Now what happens is that Fierce Daughter just eventually explodes with damage that my team just can't handle. And I'm hoping that the female Galabar holds the other team off just long enough for me to be able to survive that. And look at that. I think it happened. I think male Soulkeeper was an impediment to me actually beating Fierce Daughter. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. So we go ahead and look at the stats here, and yeah, you can see the Phoenix on the other side. The Corbett did tons of damage before. They weren't able to go off this time because female Galabar was just keeping them in check. That's really interesting. And one more time against Fierce Daughter, this time with the male Sigaric. And on this one, unlike the female Galabar, which we were just trying to hold off the opponent, we really needed male Sigaric to go into the back and kill the male Water and Sun and Phoenix before anything could happen, and that absolutely did not happen. So here we have a loss for male Sigaric, and this is really interesting because the female Galabar is the one that really shone bright here in the particular strategy that beat Fierce Daughter, which was basically to hold her team in check long enough to actually get the win. So slowing things down there actually worked well. And so while she had lost one previously, she won one here. And now, if you have been keeping count, every single one of these champions has a loss. They have the same exact number of wins and the same exact number of losses. So I'm not going to show any more matches here, but I am going to do a ton more testing with these and share the numbers with you in just one moment. All right, so after testing 45 battles, I have our final results. And that's 15 battles for male Soulkeeper, 15 for female Galabar, and 15 for male Sigaric. And the results are surprising. But before I get to them, I want to remind you that my male Soulkeeper has 83 vigor, female Galabar has 67 vigor, and male Sigaric is sitting there at just 18 vigor. All right, so here we go. Final results, male Soulkeeper in my main comp went 11-4. With female Galabar instead of the male Soulkeeper, my main comp went 13-2. And with male Sigaric instead of male Soulkeeper, with only his 18 vigor, my main comp went 12-3. Quite honestly, I'm surprised. I expected them all to actually be relatively even if the male Soulkeeper was a win more champion. And that's because I kind of felt like my male Water and Sun and Phoenix carry it anyway, and everybody else is just kind of there for support. But this is actually the worst case scenario for male Soulkeeper. First of all, the results don't vary wildly. It's not like male Soulkeeper's team is winning a whole lot less than the others, but he's winning less than the others. Like, just putting in any random hero and making sure you had 5 heroes was better than having a male Soulkeeper in there. Now, I think the reason that we, and I include myself in this, have incorrectly thought that male Soulkeeper was so dominant is because top players run around with him in their lineup, and that's because they can put a lot of vigor on them. And of course, he looks amazing against outmatched teams. Like, he just shuts down the battle so fast. But then when he goes up against evenly matched teams, he's not actually helping to progress the battle all that much. I do think there's some little things you could do with Synergy to help things. Like, you could potentially use like a female Tide Raiser or the new Spider Woman to pull opponents into him a little bit more to prevent healing and things like that. But I will tell you what, that ultimate, which he's known for, just the execution, he's actually not winning matches at a higher rate. If that's what matters, is actually winning matches, he's not winning more matches. He's just winning more in the ones you were going to win anyways. Now, I do admit my testing is somewhat limited, so take that into account. We didn't go into Valley of Conquerors or Guild Conquest. If you want to test that out, feel free. The energy levels are all different there. That's always the thing. Everybody starts off a little bit on the right foot, but quite honestly, I would think in Arena, where everybody starts off on the right foot with a little bit more energy, it's actually not good for male Soulkeeper, because if we all started off with 0 energy, and then they had to work towards that, that's where the female Galabars and female Tide Raisers and Zeiston like really shine, the control heavy heroes, and I would include the new spider heroes in that too. So that's going to be my conclusion. It's probably going to garner a lot of, let's just say, opinions in the comments, and that is fine with me. Please feel free to post, comment. I just want to start a discussion on this. I thought it was an interesting topic, didn't know what would happen going into it, and this is what I ended up with. So if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and I will catch you in the next one.